Commander Zefran stood before the massive holographic display, her three eyes scanning the blue-green marble that hung suspended in the center of the war room. Earth, the third planet from Sol, teeming with 7 billion primitive bipedal creatures who had barely mastered interplanetary travel. It should have been simple, another routine conquest for the Vorthak Empire. "Fleet status report," she commanded, her voice resonating through the bioacoustic chambers of the flagship Nexus destroyer. "All 847 vessels are in position, Commander," replied Captain Tholvas, his silver carapace gleaming under the crimson lighting. "Planetary bombardment cannons are charged. Ground assault forces are prepared for deployment. We await your order to commence Operation Cleansing Dawn." Zefran nodded, feeling the familiar weight of conquest settling on her shoulders. This would be her 23 RD planetary subjugation, and Earth promised to be among the easiest. The humans possessed no energy shields, no quantum weaponry, no unified planetary defense. Their most advanced spacecraft could barely reach their own moon. It would be over within a solar cycle. She raised her primary arm, ready to give the command that would seal Earth's fate, when Lieutenant Krolthos burst through the chamber doors. "Commander, urgent transmission, incoming from the planet's surface." Zefran's arm froze mid-gesture. "Impossible. Our stealth shields are impenetrable. They cannot detect us. The transmission is directed specifically to you, Commander. It includes your personal identification codes and military rank. The signal originated from the planet's northern continent, coordinates 40.7128 by 74.60. A chill ran through Zefran's exoskeleton. Those coordinates meant nothing to her, but the fact that primitive humans somehow knew of her presence was deeply troubling. "Display the message." The holographic Earth shimmered and was replaced by the image of a human male. He appeared middle-aged by their species standards, with graying hair and kind eyes behind primitive optical enhancement devices. He wore simple clothing and sat in what appeared to be a modest dwelling. "Greetings, Commander Zefran of the Vorthak Empire," the human began, speaking in perfect Vorthak dialect, something that should have been impossible. "My name is Dr. James Chen, and I represent no government, no military, no organization. I speak only as one sentient being to another." Zefran exchanged glances with her officers. How did this creature know their language? How did he know her name? The human continued, "I know why you're here. You've come to add Earth to your empire, as you've done to 847 other worlds. I know this because 43 years ago, when I was just a boy, your scout ships visited our planet. One of them crashed in the mountains near my home." The commander's secondary heart began racing. The Zeta reconnaissance mission, it had been classified as a complete loss with no survivors. "I found the pilot before your recovery teams did," Dr. Chen said softly. His name was Velthar. He was badly injured, dying. "I was just a child, but I helped him. I brought him water, food, medicine from my father's first aid kit. I sat with him for 3 days as he recovered enough to signal for rescue." Zefran's memories stirred. Velthar, her clutch brother, lost during deep reconnaissance. The family had mourned him for cycles. "During those 3 days, Velthar taught me your language. He told me about your empire, your conquests, your way of life. But more than that, he told me about your people's great loneliness. How you spread across the galaxy, not out of malice, but out of a desperate search for meaning, for connection, for family among the stars." The human paused, his eyes growing distant. "Velthar spoke of you often, Commander. His beloved clutch sister, who had risen through the ranks, not through brutality, but through compassion for her troops. He said you carried the weight of every world you conquered, every life lost under your command." Zefran felt her primary heart clench. This was impossible. Velthar would never have shared such intimate family details with an alien. He gave me this before he left, Dr. Chen continued, holding up a small crystalline pendant Velthar's clutchstone, the sacred gem that connected Vorthak's siblings across any distance. He asked me to keep it safe, in case his family ever came looking for him. The pendant glowed with the unmistakable resonance frequency of Zephran's own clutchstone, hidden beneath her armor. The harmonic connection was real. Velthar had indeed been on this planet. "Commander," Dr. Chen said, leaning forward, "Velthar also told me something else. He said that if your people ever came to Earth in force, I should deliver this message. Tell Zephran that the small blue world taught a dying Vorthak what it means to be saved by kindness. Tell her that not every conquest requires destruction. Some conquests happen when one heart opens to another." Tears began forming in Zephran's eyes, a physiological response she hadn't experienced since childhood. Around her, the war room had fallen completely silent. "I have spent my life since then learning about your people," Dr. Chen continued. "Your history, your culture, your dreams. And I have prepared a proposal. Earth doesn't need to be conquered, Commander. It needs to be befriended. We are two species who could learn from each other. We could share knowledge, art, music, stories. We could explore the galaxy together." He stood up, moving to his window, where Earth's sun cast golden light across his features. "Velthar saved my world 43 years ago by showing a human child that aliens could be kind. Now I'm asking you to save both our worlds by showing that enemies can become family." The transmission ended, leaving the war room in absolute silence. Zephran looked around at her officers, then back at the image of Earth. In 23 conquests, no world had ever offered friendship instead of resistance. No species had ever spoken of kindness, of family, of the loneliness that did indeed drive the Vorthak across the stars. "Stand down all weapons," she commanded quietly. "Commander?" Captain Tholvos asked uncertainly. "Stand down all weapons. Signal the fleet. Operation Cleansing Dawn is cancelled." She paused, touching the clutchstone beneath her armor. "Signal Earth's surface. Tell Dr. Chen that Commander Zephran accepts his proposal. We have much to discuss." As her orders rippled through the fleet, Zephran realized that Velthar had been right. Sometimes, the greatest conquests happened not through force, but through the simple act of one heart opening to another. Earth was indeed their next target, but not for destruction. For the first time in Vorthak history, they had come to make friends. Outside the viewport, Earth continued its slow rotation, blue and green and beautiful, no longer a target, but a destination. The first of many, Zephran hoped, where conquest would be replaced by connection, and where two species could discover what it truly meant to explore the stars together. The war was over before it began. The friendship, however, was just beginning.